All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's look at our market normally. Remember, in our platform, what we so I treat more commodity, oil, gold, NAS 100, US 30. And sometimes if I have time, I look at what the stock index is doing. That's S&P 500 and all of that. But put your mind, oil, gold, NAS 100, and US 30, right? And I was said, so when I come into the market, then instrument of currencies, Euro USD, GBP USD, USD JPY, GBP JPY, probably UD USD, and then, so, but it's not compulsory you trade all of these things, all right? So what I do for the first, in the first place, is when you come to the market, you want to go probably on the, maybe on daily time frame to have a bias of the market, for instance. Of course, me, I have my top-down analysis, which I'm not going to all of that here. Okay. So if that is the case, so if you look at this guy, if you come for the day, you just look at this is a kind of indecisive kind of movement for this guy. This right. So, but this is the thing, give and take. Sometimes you just go probably on 4 hours and you want to mark this is an uptrend. So even if this guy is going to pull back, you want to look at different places or chances or point that this guy can actually pull back to before taking a move, right? So as a day trader, all of that, 4 hours, 1 hour, scalper is your best time, right? So now if you look at it on 4 hours, on 1 hour, yeah, so you have marked all of this. Okay, I think I even came here to mark this. Probably maybe I find a short position. Now, so sometime, so you can look at first what I just do is very simple. But remember, this is full training if you want to get understanding of what I look out to when I mark all of this point. Then, if you are not a student on the basic mastery course, then there's a need for you to get enrolled so that you can understand the full. So I look at very, very obvious key levels on 1 hour, which form your support region and resistance region, so that when market gets to those points, react, then you want to take decision. Right here is this. Okay. So here is this. And please take note, some of you, when we say US 30, or when we send some trade alerts, you're not used to those because you do not have basic understanding. And so you should understand some of those platforms we use and the names of those instruments. So like US 30 is the Dow Jones. And so some broker will use, like if you go to Capital Extend, you see DJI USD. And so it's still the same thing as US 30. So let me stop here. And then I go back to 5 minutes probably because that's my entry position for day trading and scalping and all the like. Now, if you look at this guy, so I'm sure the time you come, if you understand what I do with 5 minutes, there's some price action I check with 5 minutes, I will have found an entry. Meanwhile, I'm waiting for more of this point or this point to really decide much more. But I will have entered because there's something I do with 5 minutes. I'll on my support and resistance strategy. For instance, when the market is moving in a direction, so what I do is to box like this point. This is a tentative support region, right? And then I box this like this. And so when the markets move up and probably return to it, so of course there are those few things that market will definitely do. And in this case, this guy did this, point to this, and then return up, take out this high, and then we have a confirmation. So for a sniper entry trader, you already make up your mind. You can lose or you can gain, right? So my entry is this place and my stop loss below the box. I might take profit 1:2. Most time I look at this point, this swing high as a point of taking profit so that I will not even disturb myself. So this is my stop loss. If you look at it, the stop loss is about 13 pips, and your take profit is about 32 pips. That makes a lot of sense. And then the market continues. So sometimes if it's two positions you entered, then you can trade the remaining one because you're actually looking up to this resistance level. Now the market has gotten here. Look at this, really dialing all this while. So you have marked this point, the market has to continue doing what it's doing. So what I want is that the market take it out, or probably just reacted at the exact point, and then we have a dump. And so that means you're still targeting. So while you are even waiting, because a day trader or a scalper always have opportunity of picking some trade within. And even if you're a scalper, I think Euro USD is better for you because it's less volatile and with tighter stop loss spread. Now look at this now. So if you look at it, I'm going to mark this point, right? This is like tentative support, right? So if that's the case here, right? So you have this, then the market rallied up and speak out of this and then consolidated. So as we be, but it's very sluggish, right? So as we be looking for a long position right now at this point, okay? We're looking for a long position. So long position, targeting this point. The stop loss is supposed to be below this, but because of this low, I mean, that's 24 pips. So you may not be able to take two trades or multiple trades. You may just take one because of this stop loss and all of that. So then there I go, put my stop loss, already calculated, know how much I'm going to lose when the trade actually go the other way around. So let me just do the example. So let me go. Okay. So let's go. Euro USD. Okay. So Euro USD. So we predominantly I'm almost late to it. Okay. So I long. So I've long Euro USD. So remember what I said. So you can see I'm almost predominantly late. So well, so my stop loss is bogus, is far, but I will have to still put it. Okay. So, but you know, I'm doing training and doing. So this my stop loss below here, which is about 1.1, 148.14, 148.14, 148.14 as my stop loss, right? So my take profit perhaps. So remember we said the immediate high, so which may not be 1:2, no problem. So I just put it there. Okay, 1.15469. Okay, 15469, 1.15469. So take it there. So I now allow the trade to run. So if you look at it, this is forming a kind of chart pattern, but small time frame chart pattern are normally not reliable as such. So this is a kind of inverse head and shoulder. Now the neckline needs to be broken, right? And so for you to actually, so but you can see that if I was in and I'll mark all my points, I've found my entry earlier than this, and then allow the trade to run, and then I'm good to go. You get it? And that's exactly, if you look my Felix hack, you see that the Felix hack is reacting for the cross and it sees whatever stuff like that. And look at the Felix hack from here. That's why I say if you are trading, scalping or day trading, just focus on one instrument per time of your trading so that you'll be able to maximize every bit of it. Does that make sense? Yeah. So sure if you go to okay, gold now is dumping. Yeah. So look at it. Okay. Gold is dumping. Looking at this. So it actually corrected back. That was a correction back and then selling down again and all like. All right. So that is what you need to know when it has to do. And then quickly let me tell us. So some of us when we tell you US 30, so not all brokers have it as the same thing. So if I go here now, so you can see, this guy called it DJ30. So if you are looking for US30 here, you won't see it. What they call it here is DJ30. And now, not all brokers allow you to use the same lot size, especially when it comes to this common. This one, you have to use one standard lot size. Okay. Then NAS 100, some call it US Tech and all like. I try to just give you. Then oil, some call it US oil, some call it wheaty, right? Energy and all those like. So that's the thing we need to understand when it comes to all of these instruments. I hope it makes sense. And so that's how you find an entry to the market, and then you're fine. So when a signal is sent, you want to look at, am I still within or I'm already without? All right. So ladies and gentlemen, so important and nice and simple to maximize, trading opportunity. But if you are just trading on impulse, so you can see the trading now running, right? 5-minute time frame. And of course, you want to use like oscillator to confirm or align your judgment to say, okay, my judgment was actually right. So that's probably you want to use RSI or MACD. So look at the RSI now. You'll see like this your entry confirmed with your RSI, which will have been in, right? And that would make a lot of sense. So this one too, even though this was better off, this price action was better off. So this one somehow, according to Nigeria, get us CB. All right. So, but the RSI is already crossing the 50 moving average of RSI, which is not too bad. But following, I will have found an entry here. And once you have found an entry and you have put your stop loss, you don't bother. Just allow the trade run. The only thing you do is that when the market has moved to a reasonable level, you want to adjust your stop loss. You can see similar thing here, overbought, oversold, right? Then, so sideways move and all of that. So that's exactly what to do. So if you look at other instruments, so if you look, we traded this instrument now. This one is struggling, but at first when it take a move was a massive one, and the same thing on NAS 100. So that one took a very massive one, TP1, TP2 taking, and all the like. So then we look at GBP USD. So they have similar stuff, but GBP is more volatile. So look at it here. So what exactly do I do here? And I told you on my 5-minute day trading strategy, you just need to box where I first get to, which is this one. Oh, beg your pardon. So here, so market return back there and then take off. So sometimes this is too radical. So you want to look at, man, this radicality, I won't take it. So probably you want this one to be taken out. And after that, this is your entry. But sniper entry trader don't wait that. They enter. And of course, you can always hit stop loss too fast. But by the time you are using 1:2 reward ratio, you'll be fine. And so that means your entry was actually supposed to be here. Look at it. After this engulfing, so the next candles will be your entry. And there's nothing to reference here. So that means you're going to use 1:2 risk reward. All right. So using 1:2 risk reward, and this is already too much already. So coming back to this point. So does that minimum of 1:2. You can use 1:3. And so how many pips is in? 13 pips, then 27 pips, and then you are good to go. Now, especially when market is like this, always target a short milestone so that you will not be a handicap in the market. So because sometimes you struggle so much in the market. Yeah, see, I was telling people about this trade. Some people took it and they have taken some profit. Now, this is another thing I just did, the same support resistance strategy. The market got to this point and as if took out this and returned down. And so another thing you'll be waiting for is that to see, because this is just like internal liquidity. So gold, what will gold do? Remember what we say, gold can take out this because let me just duplicate this. All right. Okay, so gold could take out this and then bounce. So that means I will be looking for another entry. Yeah, do you understand? Because overall, it's an uptrend. Look at it. Look at it on 1 hour, 4 hours, and all of that. Overall, it's an uptrend. It's just pulling back, so which can pull back even down to this point. But if you respect this region, then you can find an entry to make much, much, much money. So, okay, so but what do I wait for here? For the fact that we're here, I want the market probably to grab this or come back to this low, and then that means you're just waiting purely on price action. Let's look at the RSI. That too is still returning down, probably to create a double bottom, and then there you go to find a powerful entry. All right. So it's very, very simple. If you can take it one step at a time, then you'll be fine trading your market without stress. Okay, I'm sure. Okay, SWI, we long SWI, and okay, SWI first went up very well and pull back. So zooming, I used just 1% pullback. Maybe we'll have added the second position. All right, so ladies and gentlemen, that's as simple as possible. Don't stress yourself unnecessarily. Work on things as reasonable, practicable, then you will be fine. Right? So now gold, we break this, right? And of course, break all of this region inside this box off. Then you will know that where is it coming from? This is a liquidity and this is a liquidity. So if I mark all of this liquidity region now, look at it. So sometimes you miss a market and you are struggling. The next thing you should look out for is that where is the next liquidity? So perhaps it may be where the market wants to come to. So here is a liquidity and here is a liquidity. So you can come to sweep it, and if you look at it back, it's like a very good support region and all of that. So ladies and gentlemen, so expedient, I told you if you're day trading or scalping, you have to be smart, as smart, as smart, as smart as possible, so that you will not miss things. Rather, you'll be able to smartly maximize. So this is already broken. There's no law that can make you get this, except we have rush move back up and all of that. So we're having this again. So then this is the next point. All right. So do have a nice time. If you have any question, don't hesitate to ask us, and then we will give you a speedy answer. Okay. So I think was this one. That's what it is. Do have a nice time. Bye.